YouTube. Right, so the YouTube stream starts in 1 minute 32. See how that tallies up with Sky. Just turn the chat off. I don't often watch Facebook live streams, and just the comments next to it are just all. I don't want to watch them.
There's just a lot of nonsense coming through, isn't there? But can you hide it?
I'm trying. I don't know if I can without just making the screen bigger.
If you pop it out and then minimise it.
Oh, that's a good idea. Even better. Yeah. You can tell you've got teenage kids who spend a lot of time on YouTube.
Yeah, something like that. So are we? There we go. I can see us on YouTube. We're live. Those of us that have been listening, thanks for joining the Finnish Football Show live at the World Cup 2022 qualifiers draw. At the moment, there's me, Mark Wiltshire, and I'm with Rich Nelson. Hi, Rich.
Hello.
We're hoping that Keke and Mark H are going to join us at some stage. I feel like I'm flying the Millennium Falcon here. I've got two screens. I've got so many windows open on those screens. So bear with us, viewers, listeners. We're basically live streaming this on Facebook. So if you go, if you want to watch the replay, you can go onto the into the Finnish Football Show fans Facebook group, and the replay will surely be there. And if we have time to pause and see who's following us, we'll try and give shout outs as well as we go along. There we go. Okay, and is the draw live here? Video unavailable. I can't watch the thing on YouTube, it seems, which is interesting.
Okay.
But I can find somewhere to watch it, I'm sure. It's also available on Yle, I believe.
Yeah, it's
live
Yle
streaming
2.
on Yle Kakkonen. Let's see what we can find there.
Well, Sky Sports have got a top pundit team on their broadcast tonight. Darren Bent, a veteran of several World Cups. Wheeling out the big guns.
That's fair.
But contrast to last year when you guys did the live reaction to the Euro draws, and I think the BBC actually got out some decent, players with several international caps. I think Mark Hughes was there and Gary Lineker was hosting. But Sky Sports are slumming it for our subscription this year.
Right, sorry, there was a little bit of noise coming through there from my Yle, video and audio. I've managed to mute that now. I think this is. I'm going to put a note here on the Facebook group. The draw is also shown on Yle 2 in Finland. And I'll put a link to that there so you can see that. And now there's lots of vintage video clips being shown on Yle. I don't know quite what you're showing. I wonder if we're seeing the same footage, just at slightly different times.
I don't think we are, because I've got it on YouTube. There's the generic attractive FIFA lady is talking. On BBC Sport, they're showing some vintage World Cup clips, and on Sky Sports News, there's a bald man talking about an outbreak of coronavirus at the Newcastle training ground.
So you've got three screens watching all the different possible footage.
Yeah, I'm just trying to make sure I've got the one that's going to be on first.
Okay.
Well,
I've
difficult.
I've just had a thought that I'll try YouTube again on my phone.
Well, it's live on BBC Sports website if anyone finds that one easier. Although I don't know if that's UK or not.
BBC Sports. So let's try the app. I've got the app here. Let's see if it works.
Oh, so I think the FIFA website is slightly ahead. They're bringing out. That looks like Daniela De Rossi to do the draw.
The FIFA website, Rich. Is that somewhere that you would?
Well, it's through YouTube. They're using their YouTube channel. So yeah, so that looks like ahead of BBC's anyway. And attractive FIFA ladies talking to Daniela De Rossi.
On the sofa?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. I thought that was a attractive Finnish lady, but you're telling me it's FIFA lady, so that's
yeah.
Okay. We're seeing the same thing.
Good. I'm just trying to get a list of the pots up so I know what the options are.
Yeah, I did try and prepare myself a little bit as well.
Here we go. Ooh.
So as I understand it, they're going to do all of pot 1 and allocate those to 10 groups, and then go through pot 2 and allocate all of those to groups, and 3 and 4 and 5, and then pot 6, because there's only 5 countries in pot 6, they're going to be allocated to groups. I forgot the numbers now. F to J.
Yeah, so effectively the 4 countries that won the Nations League groups, which I think were Belgium, France, Italy, and Spain, they're guaranteed to play in the 5-team groups, and then because they'll have the Nations League finals at some point on the match days, and then there's I think one other team will then get drawn into one of the 5-team pots. So it's interesting that I think Marco Caneva was talking on the Palolita website that he wants a 5-team group, but he doesn't want to play either of those 4 teams. I think he's kind of a little bit hamstrung. The odds of that are quite slim, but I think he's hoping that if you play a 5-team group, it gives you a bit more chance to experiment with young and new players.
Okay. Yeah, because there would be some kind of like a couple of free games because they're not playing in these finals, and so friendlies, I guess we would call them. Rather than
effectively, yeah. But then, of the 4 teams that are guaranteed to be in those groups, I think neither of them appealed particularly. But bear in mind, I mean, Finland have beaten France in the last month, so hold no fear of the world champions.
Trying to spread the word a little bit here on Facebook and get people to find us. Interesting that I titled this post that's currently live on the group, and the title was deleted off. So I learned my lesson. Very new to this live streaming. I mean, we've done it before, but when you start going from one program to another, it adds a little bit of randomness or an added layer of complexity. So we're still on the sofa. Who's joined on the sofa?
On the sofa, so I'm just getting past some xenophobic comments. That looks like Rafael van der Vaart.
Oh, very good.
He of 0 World Cup wins and former Spurs. So why is he there? What's he got?
Are you suggesting that there are people there commenting about things they know nothing?
I don't really want to dig into the comments because I have a pension I don't want to lose. But
no, I mean the people on the show themselves.
Oh yeah,
I mean, heaven forbid that people should be going live on the internet and commenting on things of which they have no experience.
Yeah, I mean, I've won as many World Cups as Rafael van der Vaart, so what does he know? But at least De Rossi's won 1.
That makes you equally as qualified, I guess.
Yeah, I think so. I guess he was probably available.
I'm available.
Yeah, we're all available.
And I can speak FIFA as well. I
I don't know
assume
if
they're
I can.
speaking English on there anyway.
I'm not sure I've turned the sound off.
Oh,
But
is it like Eurovision? They do it in several different languages all at the same time.
well, as my friend Terry's just commented, he misses bald UEFA. Well, I suppose he's bald FIFA guy now, Mr. Infantino, who was always fun company for the old Champions League draws when he was bald UEFA guy, but now he's bald FIFA guy.
Yeah. It's interesting. We've got people actually asking to join the show while we're live. Thanks, guys. We've been here for the last 5 years, but you're very welcome to join us now. Hi, Luke. Let's approve that and see if we can find us. But hello to Lucas, who's just joined us. Ville, who's liked the live stream. Feel free to share it around on your personal profiles. There was also someone else just before we went live who asked to join us here. Lost the name now. Can't see it. The FIFA lady is looking very earnestly at me. I can't hear her because I don't want it to interfere with the audio here. But
yeah, let's see. They're now talking to Eden Hazard, famous World Cup winner. Luka Modric didn't win a World Cup. Oh, Pogba did. So.
Oh, okay. So I'm seeing Modric now. So I'm just a few seconds behind you.
Yeah. So I'm just trying to work out. Yeah. Sky Sports are still busy jabbering on because all they're interested in is England. So
yes. Yeah. Well, all I'm interested in is Finland.
I wonder what are Ule showing at the moment.
They're showing just like montage of goals. I can see.
Okay.
It's just various different goals. Belgium and doing something at the moment. England.
So they're showing the FIFA feed.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, okay. I think it's direct from FIFA, to be honest. So
yeah, all killer, no filler.
Yeah. So here we've got a few people seem to be hopefully watching us. Who's there?
Are these statistics widely available?
Sorry, say that again.
Are these statistics widely available?
What, of who's joining?
Who's watching? Yeah.
By going into the Finnish Football Show fans group and looking at the notifications, I don't know. I assume we all get the same notification.
Let's have a look. Oh yes, I can see. I really should move this camera so it's filming from above rather than below. I've got several chins.
Much more flattering that way, yeah. I suspect if you're listening to this, we're probably going to edit. Well, if you're listening to this, we probably would have edited this out. If you're watching it back, and maybe what I'll do is in the show notes or in the comments below this video is just put a link to the starting time so you can skip forward because we're waiting just as you are. I can't quite see this notification so clearly here, but I can see that Paul is there, I think, and Farid is there. So thanks for joining us, guys. Hopefully you're watching live, and hopefully you'll put up with us jabbering on until FIFA gets its finger out and actually gives us some balls.
That's all we want.
Hey, we talked about our predictions competition, and we ran this predictions competition in at the beginning of the season for the Veikkausliiga, for the Finnish domestic season. And there were some non-surprises. A large number of you managed to predict the winners of, of everything. I mean, I guess if you go for Hoyik or Helsinki, you've got a fair chance of predicting things rightly. But firstly, we asked about the Suomen Cup winners, and we had 18 responses for Hoyik and 5 for Inter Turku, which turned out to be the final. So most of you had a pretty good idea how that was going to go. And the 18 of you that voted for Hoyik clearly got it right. It was a 2-0 victory at the end, sometime in the depths of October this year. And we also had 23 of you who predicted that Hoyik would be Veikkausliiga champions. And I think we have to give a little bit of a shout out to Huck, who wrote an essay about it. He said, with Hoyik's struggles, it's possible we could have another season with the league's historic juggernaut not picking up silverware again, which is... He went in 2-footed on that prediction, and sorry, there was a lot of other stuff here, but unfortunately for you, Hoyik came good, played well, deserved it. Top scorer in the league, top defender in the league. They picked up a lot of the end of season prizes there as well. We also asked about the Europa League qualifiers. How are you talking about those off the top of your head, Rich? If I throw some names at you.
Well, I suppose Inter, Kups, and Honka will be playing in the Europa Conference League.
Okay,
the inaugural season.
Yeah. So let's pause there for a sec, because 12 people predicted Kups, 11 Honka, and 11 Turku. I didn't have a chance. I mean, I've only had since the end of October to go through this, but I didn't go through and see if anyone got all 3 of those right. Maybe we should. Maybe I will when things get a little bit quieter, and see if anyone managed to, who managed to get the closest with all their predictions. But they were the top 3 for getting into Europe. And you said that was in this Europa Conference.
Yeah, so effectively now Finland won't have any teams in the Europa League. I think Hoyik will go into the Champions League, and I don't know at what point would they drop either into the Europa League or the Conference League. But the Conference League is effectively now the kind of, I hate to use it disparagingly, but the bargain basement. It's to keep all the smaller countries' teams kind of away from the Europa League, which is being streamlined. The final of which will be played in Albania in May 2022. So,
right, okay,
a glamorous final for all.
Yeah, but is this not something where I think we said that the winner of this goes into the group stage of the following year's Europa League?
Yeah, so there's a prize at the end of it, and there are some. I think that kind of the bottom European entry from the big countries will drop in. I think if had it been last season in England, it would have been, let's be honest, Arsenal. But yeah, so there will be 1 or 2 from each country will drop in there. But I think the idea is to reduce. I think it halves the Europa League group stage from what it is now, and then puts those teams into the Conference Leagues. I don't know why they don't just bring back a Cup Winners' Cup. But okay.
I mean, it's kind of there now again, isn't it? The 3 levels. You had the European Cup, the UEFA Cup, and then the Cup Winners' Cup. And each of those was valid in itself, because each one was a straight through knockout competition. So, and there were normally decent teams winning the the national cup competitions, and therefore making that a decent competition to win.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was talking to someone the other day about when the Nations League was announced, and we had mixed feelings here. I thought it was positive. Mark H was a little bit concerned about it, and it turned out to be good. So this might end up being a decent thing for some of those smaller clubs to have some European competition and progress, rather than the Finnish teams who often go out in the first or second preliminary round or whatever it is.
I think that's the hope anyway. I think UEFA kind of stumbled onto a good idea with the Nations League, and I mean, it had a double-edged sword. It reduced the number of friendlies, so these teams are playing peers. So you are seeing some benefits. I think teams like Luxembourg, they've actually strengthened. They're playing teams of their own level, and they've got promoted. Gibraltar have done quite well. Kosovo, who may have entered a bit lower, they seem to have risen quite quickly.
Keke's just joined us. I hope that squeak was your chair or your phone case or something, Keke, because that's a very rude way to announce your arrival otherwise.
Certainly was, yeah. That was my chair, yeah.
Good to see you. How are you?
Yeah, not bad. How are we doing?
Well, we've been going for 18 minutes waffling on with about not very much, really.
How are FIFA getting on? No.
I think the draw's about to start.
It seems to be. Markku Kanavas on the screen here in Finland. I've got it connected through my laptop, so I can't actually really hear what's being said, but I'm watching, and I'm sure you guys can bring some colour from anything that's being said over there. Who have we got actually doing the draw? Is it De Rossi and Van der Vaart, and there's someone else there as well?
Yeah, he's the kind of tournament administrator. I think he's talking for us all the wonderful FIFA rules about countries that can't play each other, and I mean there's issues around both war and weather, some travel restrictions as well. So there's a lot of caveats to the draw. I think Finland are in the winter group, so they can't be in a group where there's too many countries with a winter schedule.
There's a winter group. I didn't see that. I thought there was just groups 1 to 10.
Well, there's 10 countries on this list which you can't have more than 2 of them drawn into the same pot, because otherwise there's going to be games that are too cold.
Oh man alive! Thank goodness you actually read the rules. I'd started to, and then I got a little bit carried away with making sure this feed worked, and it seems to.
Yeah. So
how many countries are not allowed to play Russia, Rich?
Actually,
Russia even in it?
Kosovo and Ukraine. Well, at the moment they are. I think there's still that restriction that they might be banned, or they might be forced to play under a kind of neutral flag. But I think pending an appeal is WADA. I think they've had their drugs banned, but there's a reason why they might not be competing in the Olympics. But at the moment, they're only banned from playing Kosovo and Ukraine. And they're also in the winter venue restriction group. So who knows?
Here we go. I've managed to find out who else is watching us at the moment. So Paul is there, and Farid, as I mentioned. Lady Satu is sitting on the sofa in the room next to me, but she's following us and watching on Ule as well. Uriah, my friend.
First draw's being made now.
My Finnish class is there. Hi, Uriah. And also Usama. So good to have you all there. Right, Rich, over to you.
Right, so Portugal are the first team out of pot 1. And they're not one of the 4 Nations League group winners. But I think that means they'll be the first so I think they'll go into a 5-team pot. Yeah, so they go into Group A, and they're the top seed in Group A. And the next team out of Spain, they'll also go, because they won their Nations League group, they'll go into a 5-team pot. So they'll be in Group B, B1. I say there's 55 countries, I think, being drawn out, so this could take quite a while.
There's no way to make this exciting, is there? As FIFA are proving.
Yeah, they've got the token attractive lady doing the hosting duties, but
that's the only reason I'm here in this show as well.
Yeah. Right, so there's Denmark. They'll go into a 6-team group, which I think the first one is Group F.
Yes.
So they'll be F1. I think Canerva said he quite fancied Denmark as being drawn in the same Euro 2020 group game, so he quite fancied them. I think familiarity and a fairly local trip as well.
Play them in the Euros and then again in qualifying.
Yeah. All right, so here come the Dutch. So the Netherlands, they didn't win a group, did they? So I think they're going to Group G. A while since Finland played then, isn't it?
Yeah.
Maybe 10 years or so?
20 years since they played England.
Yeah. So the Dutch go to Group G. And now out come Italy, will be C1 because they're Nations League winner. You can tell the bias that Sky Sports have at the moment because they're not even showing it. They're just talking to Darren Bent while the groups are popping up on a graphic on the screen. They're not even showing the draw.
When it gets to pot 2, Rich, are we then going just straight through the groups, A through to?
I think so, yeah. So then Croatia going to Group H, runners up the last World Cup. It's a very strong pot 1, I think, because there's 10 teams rather than there's often 8 or 9. I think pretty much all the kind of what you'd expect the big countries are all in pot 1.
Yeah, I read something that this is the first time in 12 years that all the big nations are together in pot 1.
Right.
Because France have been out of the top 10.
Okay. Well, they've just been drawn out, so they don't get to D1. Obviously, France, they're slayed by the mighty Finland fairly recently. No sweat.
Licking their wounds.
Yeah, we'll play our reserves, turn them over. All right. Here come England. So they're going to Group I. So they didn't win their Nations League group, so they'll have a 6-team group. That's all systems go.
Running quite smooth at the moment.
Yeah, give it a minute. Yeah, just accidentally clicked onto the comments page and I'm regretting that choice immediately.
Is that on YouTube?
On the YouTube that I accidentally minimised and I'm seeing all kinds of slanderous things being said. Not about us, thankfully. So Belgium going to Group E, which should leave Germany in Group J as top seeds.
I'd love for people to care enough to be slanderous about the Finnish football show.
You should see the comments I get about my podcast. Yeah. I think Too Woke was one of the recent ones I had.
Too woke. There are worse things to be called, I suppose.
Yeah. Too many women. Too long, too short.
If pot 2 is easier, why don't I call these as they come out?
Yeah, go on. They're doing it now.
I'm a little bit behind you, so just bear with me.
Okay.
So Durossi's got his hand in the pot. He's pulled out Serbia. So that should be Serbia going into Group A with Portugal.
Yeah, I think we'll probably see the weird restrictions coming in further down. I think at this point they're not going to make too many differences.
Well, if I call it and it's wrong, then we'll just blame it on FIFA.
Yeah.
So next is Sweden. So Sweden in with Spain.
Should be.
In Group B, sorry.
There's no beef there, is there? Sweden and Spain?
No, nobody cares about Sweden.
Come on, you Swedish football show.
Yeah. Where's the Swedish football show? Come on.
And the next ball's coming now, and it's Switzerland and Italy. Oh, local derby.
See, well, I like Switzerland. Their flag's a big plus.
Oh, dear. I'm going to be making comments on your podcast as well after that.
Nice. So who's going in with France?
Drum roll.
Yeah, there we go.
Ukraine. Ukraine in Group D with France.
they play each other the World Cup last time? I can't remember.
Do you know, I'm terrible at remembering who's played who. It's almost like my memory gets wiped after the game finishes. That's why I love having you guys around.
Yeah. I still remember the 1990 World Cup quite clearly, but anything after that.
Oh, Wales.
Out comes Wales, yes.
Wales.
So in with
Wales and-
Belgium. And
Belgium.
Wales in group.
That's a tough one, isn't it?
Sounds like your girls have got something to say about that, Rich, as well.
Yeah, I think they were hoping Finland would be in pot 2. So. Right, how do I mute this?
No, don't worry about it. I'm still concerned about my swearing teenager next door. So let's just go for it. It's crowd noise. Out comes Austria, Denmark, and Austria in Group F.
That'd be a decent group, wouldn't it, for Finland?
Yeah.
I guess Austria must be. Well, I don't know though. I mean, are the groups down the side, are they by FIFA ranking order? Because Austria then sort of in the top half of that.
Next, we have Turkey, Netherlands, and Turkey in Group G.
I guess if Finland had a say at this moment, they'd probably fancy Group F.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely.
Maybe Group A at a push.
Yeah, Portugal have to be on their way down from a successful few years, don't they?
Surely Ronaldo must retire at some point.
Slovakia, Croatia, and Slovakia. In Group H, sorry.
Yeah. I don't think, other than Ukraine are the only team out so far who've got one of these winter restrictions as well. So, again, it'll be further down the line. England and Poland, there's one for the nostalgia. God. It's like the 90s all over again.
Oh, so bored. I get bored of seeing the same teams.
England and Poland.
England and Poland in Group I.
At least we'll get to see plenty of clips of, was it Tomaszewski, the Polish goalkeeper in 73?
So that leaves Romania to go into Group J with Germany there.
Yeah.
Now, what would be funny is if you get Ireland, Republic of Ireland in Group F with Denmark, because they always play Denmark.
Oh, they do, don't they?
Barry Glendenning can't get enough of complaining about playing against Denmark.
Either in a group or in a playoff.
Yeah. So, do we just have free for all until Finland comes?
I think so. I guess
Lead on, Keke. You call pot 3 as we start.
I'd love to, but I haven't got a screen on it showing it.
Oh, you haven't? Oh, okay. All right. Then we're over to you then, Rich.
Okay. Republic of Ireland go to Group A.
Okay.
Portugal and Serbia. It's a decent draw for them. I mean, Ireland are very much in a trough at the moment, really not doing very well. But going to pot Group A, Portugal and Serbia, they'll fancy a playoff out of that. Here come Greece in with Spain and Sweden.
As we're expecting Finland to come out now, we should just say before the ball comes out what group it's being called for.
Oh yeah, sorry. So yeah, Group B has Spain, Sweden, and Greece. Coming up, De Rossi has got the Italian group. That looks like Northern Ireland.
Italy,
Northern Ireland. And Group C with Italy and Switzerland. So Northern Ireland are sort of improved in the last sort of 5 years or so. They had a rotten run.
Now coming Group D, this is France and Ukraine's group.
That's right. France and Ukraine. Here comes De Rossi again. What's he got in store for us? Jiggling his balls. Finland.
Oh!
France and Ukraine and Finland.
France will be terrified after the hiding they got in November. Bring it on.
Repeat. France and Ukraine. There we go. So Finland are drawn in a group with another winter nation. So they can't be drawn in another. So you get the Czech Republic in with Belgium and Wales. So Finland are in a 5-team group, which I guess was what Caneva was hoping for.
Yeah.
But France, I mean, Ukraine, I don't really follow Ukraine, although France did beat them, I think, was it 7-0, 7-1 in the Nations League last month. So You'd like to think France, being the world champions, will be favourites for top spot there, but Ukraine be tougher.
Czech Republic has just dropped into Group E with Belgium
Yeah.
and Wales.
And you've got Scotland in Group F with Denmark and Austria.
Well, I guess if that would have been a reasonable one for Finland, then it should also be considered reasonable for Scotland, shouldn't it?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, Scotland reached their first tournament for 20-odd years, so on a little bit of a high. Norway, our Nordic cousins, I suppose. Group G with Denmark and the Netherlands. The Netherlands and Turkey. So, these groups are taking shape already. And I guess we know that Finland can't be in the same... Yeah, so they're in the same pot there. Group H, Croatia, Slovakia and Russia.
Oof. I was thinking that Russia might drop in with England and Poland into the hooligans elite group.
That's where it's happening. I guess we do know that Finland can't play Belarus. I think that's all we know so far.
So,
we'll have to brush up on our knowledge of the Ukrainian national team.
Yeah. England,
So,
Poland and...
Hungary.
Okay.
That's got a ring of familiarity about it and all.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll see plenty of the old Hungary schooling England in the 50s.
Yeah.
Mighty Magyars. And here come Iceland.
Iceland
Group J with Germany. Some interesting pots there. I think Finland aren't going to be... It could have been a lot worse. I think Ukraine of the second seeds. Who knows? I think they're the ones that you've got to finish above.
Yeah. And that's doable, you know. Like you've got to look at Ukraine, as you say, Rich. They've come out of the pot above us, and you've got to think to yourself, right? Well, we can give them a good go.
So, as I understand it, the top five, the 10 group winners all go into the World Cup, and then the second place teams all go into playoffs with was it Nations League qualifiers as well into
so the highest ranked Nations League teams who haven't reached the top two of their group. So this is where Finland probably have lost out from the Nations League, but then that's where Wales have probably benefited. But I think in this round, you need to finish in the top two.
Yeah.
So pot four. So Finland can't play Belarus, but I think that's the only restriction on this one.
Okay, I'll call these ones then, Rich.
Hmm.
So first we got Luxembourg. Luxembourg going into Group A with Portugal, Serbia and Ireland. Van der Vaart has a rummage and he pulls out Georgia. Georgia, assume they go into the same pot with Spain, Sweden and Greece.
I think so. I don't think there's a restriction on them other than... I think that's it. They're not classed as a winter nation. Plenty of other things going on.
What happens if he pulls a ball out and it is a restriction? He puts it back in and has another go?
They move to the next available group.
Oh, okay.
So
Group C, Italy, Switzerland, Northern Ireland and now Bulgaria in Group C.
Yeah. So all we know from Group D is they can't play Belarus.
Here we go then.
So Belarus can't come here. Who's going in with Finland, Ukraine and France?
Here we go.
And that is Belarus. So what you were saying is they should move along to Group E.
Yes.
Belgium, Wales and Czech Republic.
Should do. Here we go. The new bald FIFA guy is explaining. Yeah, so they go into Group E, so we get another pop.
Come on.
Who's coming now? France, Ukraine.
Oh,
Finland,
not again.
And Bosnia-Herzegovina.
Again.
No,
Keck is furious. He's been there already.
exactly. Very nice, but I was hoping for somewhere different.
And we also know now that Bosnia, we can't be drawn in the same group as Kosovo because Bosnia and Kosovo can't play each other.
Oh, your knowledge is awesome, Rich.
My knowledge of current affairs. I think Bosnia don't recognise the existence of Kosovo. That's the thing. Maybe Finland should stop recognising France and we'll get drawn in the same group as them.
Is that Israel? Israel with Scotland again. They've played each other 3 times in the last 2 weeks.
That comes up a lot, doesn't it?
Denmark, Austria, Scotland and Israel in Group F. And now we can see Montenegro going into Group G. Seems okay with Netherlands, Turkey and Norway.
That's quite an open group, isn't it? And Netherlands, you just never know with them, do you?
Which team will turn up? Slovenia with Slovakia, Russia and Croatia. It's a very kind of Balkan group, H, isn't it?
Yeah. Not too much travel. There's actually some restrictions around travel as well.
Okay.
I think the teams that don't fly too far, I can't remember what exactly the caveat for that was, but I think it's like Iceland can't play Kazakhstan or something like that.
England in Group I. Sorry, Rich. England, Poland, Hungary and Albania. Who can't travel to where?
I think there's some restrictions around travel so they don't fly too far. I need to work it out, but I think you can't be drawn in, I think, like Gibraltar and Kazakhstan or something like that.
Okay.
From an environmental impact or what?
I think it's just the length of the trip, isn't it?
North Macedonia with the last ball out there, going into Group J. So that's Germany, Romania, Iceland, and North Macedonia.
So again, from pot 5, because it's Finland and Ukraine, so they can't play Estonia, which is a weird. Faroe Islands.
We can't play Faroe. Oh.
No. Or Lithuania, or Latvia. I think that's it.
Is that all winter restrictions, Rich?
Yeah. Because it's winter in April, isn't it?
Kosovo.
So Kosovo
have gone into Group. They've been put in Group B.
Group B, because I don't think they can play Serbia.
Serbia, yeah, okay. So Spain, Sweden, Greece, Georgia, and Kosovo.
Yeah.
Azerbaijan have been pulled out. Are they allowed to go into Group A?
I think so. Yeah, they're going to Group A.
Portugal, Serbia, Ireland, Luxembourg, and Azerbaijan. That's Group A confirmed.
That would have been nice for Finland.
Now we've got Lithuania, Italy, Switzerland, Northern Ireland, Bulgaria, and Lithuania in Group C.
I think, yep. So now we know Finland can only draw about 3 of these, I think.
Andorra would be a nice warm away trip. So would Cyprus.
We got Estonia, so we can't play Estonia. Here we go, ball FIFA guy earning his money again. Money in a brown envelope. Yeah. So this is where the fun comes, because the top teams, it doesn't really matter. They get them out first. So there's still Armenia, Cyprus, Kazakhstan or Andorra for Finland.
Yeah, so now
it's Kazakhstan.
Belgium, Wales,
Kazakhstan.
There we go.
Is that coming to us, is it?
Yep, that's Finland's group.
Okay, it's a good one for you, Keke. That's a nice trip for you. Nice away trip.
How do I get there?
Group D, France, Ukraine, Finland, Bosnia-Herzegovina and Kazakhstan.
It's I suppose Kazakhstan's a different one. But yeah, I mean, I guess, I don't know, for away trips, what do you reckon, Keke?
Don't know, it sounds far away.
Yeah.
Faroe Islands have just been drawn out. Can they go in Group F? Should think so.
Yeah.
Denmark and Scotland's group. . So now we've got the five team groups are all finished, and now we're drawing teams down into those 6 team groups. So Latvia's out next.
They can go with Norway. That's 2 winter teams. The weird thing about these groups is that the results, when it comes to, I think sometimes the games against the bottom teams don't matter for certain qualification and seeding purposes. That's Cyprus.
Croatia, Slovakia, Russia, Slovenia, and Cyprus.
I think there's a couple of groups you won't know what's happening until you look at Wikipedia in 25 years' time.
Now we have Andorra. Is that going into England's group?
Yeah. I've played Andorra before, no. Didn't Asiko have an Andorran defender a couple of years ago?
Mark Vallis.
Yeah, he was Andorran.
I think you might be right. Yeah, it's true.
Is that Armenia?
So Armenia going to Group J. So Group I, England, Poland, Hungary, Albania, and Andorra. There's still one more to be drawn. And Germany, Romania, Iceland, North Macedonia, and Armenia.
Iceland have got to fancy that, really, haven't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, but they seem to be on the decline a bit, don't they now? Okay, 5 more teams to be pulled out. Call these, Rich.
So you got Moldova. Will they go to Group F, I think? I think Moldova are really at war with anyone, and I don't think they have particularly harsh winters. Yeah, so Moldova going with Denmark, Austria, Scotland, Israel, Faroe Islands, and Moldova. Here come Gibraltar. I say they can't play Spain. I think they go in the Netherlands group, although there are some travel restrictions around Gibraltar as well. But they drop into Group G with the Netherlands, Turkey, Norway, Montenegro, Latvia, the mighty Malta. Assume they're going to Group H. I think Malta at war with anyone. Yeah, Croatia, Slovakia, Slovenia, Russia, Cyprus, Malta. Group I for England, San Marino, bringing back the memories.
Andorra and San Marino.
Blimey. This is the Nations League at work here, isn't it?
Yeah.
Andorra got themselves into pot 5.
Yeah, that's true. But fair play, they played themselves into that. So same with the Faroes as well.
Yeah. And Liechtenstein, Germany, Romania, Iceland, North Macedonia. Yeah. Fine. There we go. It's all done.
So, just as a reminder, I'm not going to run through all those groups because that would be tedious beyond belief. Hopefully, we've managed to make this slightly less boring than it could have been. Oh, that's magic! They've just taken the group off the off the screen as I was about to read it. Something's happening. Drum roll. So we've got Group D: France, Ukraine, Finland, Bosnia-Herzegovina, and Kazakhstan. Not too bad. Not too bad, chaps.
No, I think that. I mean, for my uneducated eyes, that looks like a 3-way shootout for the second spot. I think. I mean, Finland played Bosnia in the Nations League a couple of years ago, and they win both games. I think.
We got beat when I went to Bosnia away. It was a nasty 4-1 defeat.
Oh yeah, but then they won the home game. Pukki scored both, didn't they? So that was the Euro qualifying, not Nations League. But yeah, because Finland just pipped Bosnia. Bosnia were the team they leapfrogged to get into pot 3, so they should be quite close. But I think, I mean, you'd imagine it will be just hope France has got to be the favourites, and then the other 3 will be vying for the second spot.
And Keke, how long ago was that 4-1 defeat?
Crikey, when was I in Bosnia? It doesn't feel like that long ago, but since this year's been really strange, Yeah, crikey, I can't remember what it was, but yeah, I think
2.5 years. Is that long ago?
No, not that long.
No, okay.
18 months, something like that.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, well, when was it? It was November was when we was in Helsinki for the Liechtenstein game. So it was just before that.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, 18 months or 18 months ago, I suppose.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean they've got some decent players, Bosnia, haven't they? Pjanic, is it?
Mm.
But yeah, you know, as Rich says, we've got to be hoping for the second spot out of that group. As he says, it's a bit of a three-way tug. So
yeah.
On
so
that
Bosnia,
bombshell.
yeah, Bosnia game was October 2019.
there you go. Yeah.
Right. Okay. So that was just about a year ago. Really.
Yeah, and then the home game was June 2019. Pukki scored twice.
Yeah.
In
In the rain, wasn't it? That was the rainy one.
Yeah, at Tampere.
Okay. Shall we call it a day, James?
Yeah. I think we've done our job well.
I think we've done our job. I'm not sure about if we've done it well. We've done a job. I've got to go away and do a little bit of an editing job and cut all that waffle off from the beginning. I think we'll start where we were talking about our predictions and running into the draw. So if you listen to this after the event, you'll have heard exactly where we start. So from you, Keke, see you again soon. Bye-bye.
Yep. Bye-bye.
Rich, thanks a lot for that.
See you later.
See you soon.
Cheers all.
And from me, that's your lot. Hey, if you're listening to this podcast, Keke's got something very exciting lined up. We're interviewing someone tomorrow. We're not telling you who, so just follow the Facebook fans page and we'll let you know when it's coming up. There's a visual clue, but there's nothing more than that. Thanks a lot, guys. Take care. Thanks for listening to the Finnish Football Show. We'll see you again next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.